Here is a look at your gap and go trades for the week of December 23rd through the 27th. I will go over price targets on the 5-minute time frame, have a gap recap from December 16th through the 20th, and then update the chart as well. Hi everyone, it's Dow on the Dow. First up is Rivn. We ended the day at $13.83, up 5%. This is where we are. To the north side takes us to one level of resistance and a potential take profit area at roughly 14.13. Above that, 14.66. And should we be so lucky as to get to this level at 4 standard deviations, that would be roughly $15.13. To the south side, back at the middle of the trend and the baseline, roughly 13.17. Below that, 12.17, 11.70, and roughly 11.22. The yellow horizontal lines are previous middle of the trend lines that I have marked out. And I will update that in just a moment. But looking left, this is where we started previously. So we ran up to resistance, another level of resistance, falling back down to support, and then grinding along this line where I always anticipate price to eventually rest before making its way to the downside or to the upside. A buy-in at support, up to resistance, sell off back to support, grinding sideways, busting through this level, which turns into resistance on the way back up. And then we are here. So we didn't get up to stay up. We kind of lost what we gained and then ended up at 13.83 when the previous week was 14.37. However, for the day, we are up 5.90%. As far as the gaps go, this gap is still in play to the downside. And if we continue going south in the direction we are right now, this will definitely touch on Monday, taking us down to 12.35. Then we have this gap, this baby gap, that could also touch on Monday. And this is considered a support line as well as this line. And what else do I have below that? I think that is it. As far as the gap to the upside, this gap is still in play. And that will take us to roughly 17.47. Wow, this gap has been in play for a very long time. We were doing so well, and then we gave it all back. But you can see when I've tracked this back in May, just for the price, the closing price, we have gone up a little bit. And the low was 10.28 when I just only checked for price. That's not doing a video. Wherever you see a price label is where I did a video. But you can see we went up and now it appears we're just reversing. See that? And then eventually going to close that out. And I think after we hit that target, I think better days are possibly ahead for Rivn. Now the next ticker, one other thing I want to do is, because I like to mark the middle of the trend, I'm hitting Option R to reset this. And the middle of the trend, as I mentioned, was 13.17. I will mark that out. So if we stop going down and we start going sideways, I anticipate price could go this direction, using this as either support, a bounce off of that, or falling down and then that turning into resistance. But the previous week, we were right here. And then before that, we were, where did it go? Did I delete it? Yeah, I may have deleted it to make a thumbnail. And then I have all these lines and it just looks messy. So this is so close to this line that I'm going to erase it. And that I marked out the week of December 9th, Monday, December 9th. And we're very close to where we have been, retracing. So I'll just delete that for now. And the next one is going to be NEO. We ended the week at $4.54, up 3.18%. The 52 week, well, high in that case is $9.57, but the 1 year price target is now $6.25. So this is where we are. If we head north, that will take us to 463. Resistance, 470, another level of resistance. Don't hold your breath for 1 day. 477. The middle of the trend takes us to this line. Right, the previous week was here, so we've made our way up. But below that, 434, retracing to a level we've been, 427 and 420. Looking left, look at the buy-in right here at support off of this line, which was once the middle of the trend, has turned into support, running up to resistance, selling off, and then grinding up and then falling back down. So we could hit this and go across using this as support and resistance. And if we do, I anticipate a little bit of a buy-in right there. But if you take a look at this from this period to this period, at the end of the week, if we continue to go south, the middle of the trend could be at 445. Here, 431, 424, and 417 if we continue to slide. Now, as far as this gap that I have been tracking, we closed out. Yay, we touched on, I'll just take it right to here. At 458, no longer in play. That touched basically on the 17th, opened up on the 13th, Friday the 13th. All right, and then I need to clean this gap up from the previous week. Not this week, but the week of the 9th, because I forgot to do that. Remember, I just extend this and I have no idea where it's going to touch, and it did right about there. And that closed out at 464 to the downside. Made its way up and then reverse course. That one closed out, so I'm good. Touch points here and fell through this line. And we have this gap to deal with to the downside. And this one taking us to 395. And what about any other gaps? I think that's it. So I would really like us to touch 395 so I can buy back in again. Oh no, look at this. You got to play this on the bigger time frame so you can see more things that reveal itself to you on a different time frame. And then to the north side, we have this one touching at roughly 488, not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close, moving farther away from it as we go down. Then we have this one and then this one. Oops. All right. Oh, and then another gap to the north side there. I'll just extend that now. But look what we've done. So it looks like we went here, making our way up. Well, down and then up, but I'm just going to say generically up and then down. And then we've got these to deal with. And then I will feel better if we close out this one, 371. And then a rip to the upside, maybe in the spring. That's NEO. And again, this was the middle of the trend the previous week, the week before that. And because this is just too many lines, I'm going to get rid of this one because I want to see this line stay because that was just the previous week. I'm going to delete this one. All right. And the next one is Intel. We ended the week at 1952, up 2.41%. To the north side, resistance, take profit, a take profit area, 1972, 2003, and should we be so lucky, 2037 to the upside for Monday. And then the middle of the trend, 1910. I've got the magnet turned on. See, it will take it to a different price point. You have to go one tick off of that, and then it'll grab. 1907, 1844, 1812, and 1780. A buy-in at resistance, and then we're just touching this line here, grinding down. And if we hit this line, I will anticipate a bounce, or hopefully we start to go sideways and then turn around. This gap closed to the downside at 1936. And delete that. That was in play. Oh my goodness. Look at this. 1936 since September, what did I say? September 12th. Delete, no longer a threat to our account. Plenty of other things are. And let me clean up anything else I see, just a quick glance on the 5-minute. If you flip this over to the daily, weekly, monthly, you're going to see some more things that you can probably clean up. The gap to the upside, 29.04, moving farther away from that point, still going down, so keep that in mind. And then we've got a gap down here to 1934. Oh, it touched. That's right. Oh, and I was going to buy in and I never did. I got busy. And then look, it gave me an opportunity again and then again, and I did not pay attention. That's why you have to set your buy orders, but then it could go even lower than your buy orders. So it's just tough, but you have to start a position if you're looking into buying, like I am, again, adding to it, and then dollar cost averaging down on a good company. All right, the middle of the trend is here, and then the previous week, look at that. We went from here, this line, to this line, and that is down 7%, but for the day up 2.41. But here to here, how much is that? What kind of a drop is that? That's a 10% decline. That's a good 10% buying in at 10% of a discount. I'll take it, but I didn't. Silly me. All right, well, I'm going to have to continue to watch this one. But I think that was the last gap. Can we bleed out some more? Yes. Flip it over to the daily, the weekly, the monthly. I like to troll on the monthly and buy at 30 or below. I used to say 40, but that's to get you in. And sometimes it goes even lower, and it's hard to say, but 40 and below, but really 30 and below is better, especially if you're trying to play conservatively. SoFi, the next one, not looking so fine here. Okay, we're at 1535, up 2.13% to the north side, 1578, 1621, and 1662 to the south side, back at the middle of the trend and the baseline here. And this is off, I think. There. 1409, 1367, and 1324 to the south side. A bounce off of this line. This is where I bought in previously. Oh wait, is that a buy-in? Yeah, I think that was a buy-in level. My last buy-in level. I should have sold up, but I didn't. I could have bought it. Well, I bought it way back here and then could have sold up here at 17.19 for a high. Now I'm going to have to wait for that opportunity again, but it will present itself. It'll just take a while. Since we're in a downward channel, this gap is still in play to the downside, taking us to 12.98. And then what is this gap? Oh, it's not a gap. Oh, these are my previous buy-in areas. Okay. But that's a gap that will take us down to 12.99 roughly, 12.98. The previous middle of the trend was here, so we went from this level to this level in 1 week. Yeah, that was the week of the, what was it, the FOMC meeting, and then the market tanked. And And to the upside, I'll have to look. I think it was in the 20s. Yeah, 22.79 is the target to the upside. All right, Boeing is the next one. So to the north side and resistance, 177.91, 180.36. Takes us to here. 182.91 roughly, 184.12, oops. And roughly 185.40. To the south side, it's 176.60 and 175.34. Note the bounce at support, sell off at resistance all along this line, clear levels, outliers here that are your sell signal. And if you play this linear regression or standard deviation, this whole section is considered a buy, but I don't trade that way. I do it more conservatively and try to wait to hit it down here. But price may never get there and then you miss out. So it all depends on your trading strategy, and your risk tolerance. I own too many stocks. I don't need more. Even though there are plenty I want, I just have to trade what I have for now. So that closed out right here at 173.58 or 61-ish, whatever, close enough. And we actually touched on this day, Monday out of the gate. So delete that. That was a nice, run up. Right, we have to consolidate though to make a higher leg. Always anticipate that. And this gap opened up all the way on September 3rd. Again, if you pull this to the daily, Option R, stay on page. Option R, reset. Look at all the weeks I've tracked this for the gaps. But hopefully we can retrace back to this level. But not right now. Still going down on the daily. All right, watch out for that. It's a hot mess, but hot mess to you. It looks like a hot mess, but I know exactly what everything means. And then I start cleaning up when the calls I make come to fruition. Sometimes it takes a long time. There's a gap that opened up. Again, I am just looking from this period to this period. That's all I can do, except for, on this gap and go video. But see how this can go sideways. And then at the end of the week, if we continue to go up, I mentioned on Monday here, 182. This could turn into 189, and the outer band, the outlier, could take us to 192.35, and then the lower channel could be up to 182.35. So let that be your guide. But there are many other ways to play this. Turn on your Bollinger Band, your VWAP, your Fibonacci retracements, whatever you like to do, and just learn it really well. Set your stop loss, and then, which I am horrible at, that takes us down to 149. I'm horrible. Maybe in 2025, that should be my New Year's resolution. Besides getting on my treadmill more. And my rower. That would be nice. That would be lovely. All right, did I give you? Yeah, so here, 182.88 to the south side, two standard deviations, 177.85. I digress, so now I can't remember what the heck I did. The outer band here, 175.36, 185.49, and then that gap to the upside is the target, the next gap target. Buy in at support, sell off at resistance, sell off, buy in. All right, that's enough of Boeing. Nike. So we are here. We ended the week at 76.94, down 0.21%, 77.25, 77.74, 78.22. the middle of the trend. It's gotten lower for this week. That takes us out to, is that a gap fill? Yeah. Okay, that will take us down to 75.31. And let me hit that again, reset. That is in the realm of touching it on Monday. 74.84, 74.37, and watch out for this landmine to the south side at 72.67. Sell off at resistance, buy in at support. Support. Sell off, and we have this gap to look forward to the upside. Not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close though. Okay, just something to be aware of. Oh, and we have this one too. All right, and I think I've cleaned up. Oh no, oh wait. See, you have to look left big time. And look, I thought this was an extension and was going to close on Monday. No, we already closed this out on Friday. Yay, look at this right here. Taking us down to 75.31. Done. No longer a threat. Boom. This opened up on the 22nd of November, closed out on December 20th. That's pretty funny. All right, and oh, look at this one, $72. Did it just graze it, or did it? Oh, look, when I expand this, it appears that it closed. Look at this. No, it did not. I'm not going to give that a win to the downside. No, I even made this thick. If it were thinner, it would be even farther away from it. So nope, that is definitely still in play to the downside. And I think after that, I have not marked out any other gaps. There could be other gaps. If you see one, let me know. But I don't really track the gaps to the south side. I track them for the purposes of this video to the upside. And then as we step down, I point those out. But still, it's a threat. Oops, that goes right there. And then, yeah, that didn't, almost skimmed it, but didn't touch it. No, upon closer examination to the upside, 79.03, but we are in a downward channel. Hopefully we can stop going down and go sideways and get closer to this line. And this line will turn into resistance if we're down here. We're going to bust through that line once it falls down to this level. Okay, that's it for Nike. Oh, what is the 1 year price target? We are at 85. Estee Lauder is the next one. Option R to reset. $75.30, $76.25, and $77.11. Middle of the trend. $73.45, $71.60, $70.69, and $69.76. Just grinding sideways here. If we bounce down here, this will also turn into support, and I hope we do bounce off of that line. That would be nice. Or we could just grind along this line. And what happened here? This gap opened up on the 6th of December. And we touched it out of the gate right here on Monday, the 16th. Very nice. So that is no longer in play to the south side. See, all we did, look at, it's a clear pattern here, up and then reversing all the way down possibly to go back up again. And did this gap? Yeah. Oh, there's a tiny gap right here. Just a little one. Maybe it closed. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it. Maybe if we bounce off of that in the 62 range, that would be a great buy-in area. Back to the 52-week low would be amazing. I start tracking it at 69. I mean, I've looked at it before. TradingView, if you can believe this, for the first time ever, I've noticed that they gave me a recap of what I've done in 2024. I have looked at 70,000 tickers, obviously some of them over and over and over again, like Neo and Intel and Tesla and MSOS and a gazillion other ones, but it was an interesting factoid. Fun to see. All right, that's it right there for Estee Lauder. And hopefully we can reverse back up to 87.05, which is, what did I say? What's the target previously? Oh, it's 78. Yeah, we have the potential to go up even higher. Unilever, option R, reset. This gap already closed out. I didn't bother to mark it. First, your price targets. 57.56, 57.88, 58.19. If we go sideways, 56.94, 56.33, 56.02, and 55.70. Looking left, this gap closed to the downside on Thursday, and it opened up on Friday, November 22nd. No longer in play. Delete. Where did this one come from? Okay, so it started here at 58.28 roughly. Now this gap, got to clean up as well. Just a tiny one. And like I said, sometimes I don't bother with it, but I do because I'm particular and I can't let a good gap get me by here. 58.75 delete to the downside. And that started on the 13th, Friday the 13th, and closed on Wednesday, December 18th. But look at this one. I never noticed this earlier. This gap opened up. An opportunity opened up, but that means it also clobbered other people on the way down. So we gapped down. So this is what I do. Switches over to green. That means it's going to fill on the way up. And that will take us to roughly, going to mark that out, the bottom end. Looking forward to seeing this at roughly 58.78, not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. Then we have this one for Unilever, which I'm in 60.06, and then this one 61.07, but look at the pattern. We went up and then down a little, and then I just feel like all we've done is just retrace. And are there gaps to the downside? I don't know, but I never tracked any other ones. Let me know if you see another one. But hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the last gap fill here. We could go down a little bit more, but eventually go sideways and then go gangbusters on us, which the next level is 63.25. And this was the previous middle of the trend, and we have stair-stepped our way down. I'm getting hungry. Let's see. Tesla is the last one. Okay, then I'm going to eat. All right. 1594 is where we are, down 3.22%. 1614, 1690, 1728, and 1767. Oh, the baseline. Right there at 1612. To the south side, 1537, 1499, retracing to a level we've been, takes us to roughly 1461, and then all of those other lines. And what has happened here? Let's start with the gaps to the downside. Oops. 1602, and we touched right there on December 19th. Delete, no longer a threat. Oops, wrong thing. Delete. That opened up on roughly the 11th, December the 11th. And then what about this gap? Well, unfortunately, still in play. Oops. Right? Option R to reset. That is the next target. Why do I have this green line here? Oh, did Did I sell off in this line previously for myself? I don't know. I'll have to look at it in the bigger picture. But that gap closed. We've got another gap taking us down to 1496. I'll draw this out later. And then 1444. And then this one, option R to reset. Oh, and then we have this gap to the upside. Oh, this one, oh, look at that. Okay, this one closed up at 1772, and that closed on Wednesday, December 18th. How long has this been in play? Oh my gosh. Let's flip this to the hourly and show you. 17. Yeah, we were doing well, and then, oh, wait a minute. We've got a gap within a gap here. So that, this gap, oops. See this box right there? I just moved it. Okay, so that closed. 1772 is done. Let me just erase. Oh, gosh darn it. 1772 is done. Delete. Delete. I put 70 previously, 1770. All right, that one opened up on July 8th of 2024 and finally closed on December 18th of 2024. All right. And then we had this one that I forgot about and did not drag out. And that touched, this is at the hourly. I should be marking this on the daily because it's going to be off a little bit. But based off of this time frame, that closed on December 17th. And this, oh gosh. Oh wait, that one's delete. This one takes us to this level, and it touched the 17th here at 1786. That's an old line, so I did not clean this up. Oops, gosh darn. All right, I have to go back and clean this up and not bore you to tears. And then this one is done here. We were doing well, 52-week high of 2501, but the day's high is 1687. And then we have these gaps to look forward to. Okay, I'm really done now. Back to the 5, reset, stay on page. Oops, option R. Let's extend that. So this is the middle of the trend, and last week we were right here. So we have stair-stepped our way down, even though there was a pop up. So that's done. This one is still in play, as well as these other gaps. All right, that does it for me. That is a look at your gap and go trades for the week of December 23rd through the 27th. And remember, the previous week, I removed this during this phase right here, this week, I removed Tesla because we hit the target. So that is no longer in play, and I'm going to set up another watch list for just vehicles, cars, EVs, and then track Tesla that way. All right, that again, I'm done. Have a great trading week.